looking at assignment 1 on this BTEC thing, we'll actually start off by looking at task 3. This is the first one, although it's not the first one in the assignment. It's the one that requires the basic rules of algebra, which are simplifying, factorising, expanding, those words. So to be able to play around with these things like this, we're talking about expanding, simplifying, and as it says here, factorising. Those are the 3 key skills that I can't overemphasise the importance of for maths. Any engineering maths that you do that involves formulae, and you have to play around with formulae, which you will have to do, rearrange, etc., all involve using these sorts of skills. And all that might not look like a very engineering type question. These are just practicing those skills. Can you factorise those? A moment's work once you know what to do. This particular pass criteria is the one that's being assessed here, P3, factorising. And this chapter, chapter 5, and I'm referring here to the new textbook, so if you've got the old version of the textbook, you just have to find the relevant chapter, but it's on algebra. And the exercises that are relevant are here. So you can have a look at them, and we'll have a look at a few examples of the sorts of things you might have to do there. Video clips are available, as I've said already, for most of the exercises that you'll need for this particular task. So look at the video clips if you get stuck. What I tend to do on those is to go through the question in the text that you're stuck on maybe, and then you can have a go at that, and then I'll often put a little extension question at the end, very like it, so you can then practice what you've just done. Okay. So if we look at an algebraic expression, then we might want to simplify it, expand, or factorise. If I have a little expression like that, it's 3a plus 6b. I might be able to simplify that, expand it, or factorise it. Those are the 3 things we're thinking about. I can't simplify that because a and b are not the same, so I can't add them together. But I can factorise it. And factorise means I can look for something that's common to both of those terms. And if we look at it, 3 is common to both of those terms, because 3 goes into 3 and 3 goes into 6. So I can take a 3 outside both of those terms, and then inside a bracket I put what's left. And the way I sort out what's left is I ask myself, what have I got to times this by, the 3 that I've taken outside the bracket, what have I got to times that by to get back to 3a? Answer? 1a, or just a, yeah. Yeah. And then, you're right, Jordan, the next step is to say, what have I got to times 3 by to get back to 6b, 2b? Okay? So, that's factorised. So what does factorise mean? It means look for a common term in an expression. This is an expression. Look for a common term in that expression. And if you can find one, you can take it outside the bracket. And in that way, we might say it's simplified. And when you do that and why you do it becomes more obvious the more you do. One more example. Right, let's try look at one more example. A is a number. We don't know what A is, but it's the same number every time. A squared is a number. This term, if I put a circle around it, it's going to... Oh, no, that's okay. A squared is a number. And it's the same number here. A squared is the same number. So if they're the same, exactly A squared, then that's the same number. Whatever it is, we don't know what it is. So 6 lots of A squared plus another 4 lots of A squared is 10 lots of A squared. Right. Collecting together like terms. These are like terms. A squared and A squared, they're like terms. So I can collect them together. Oh, yeah. 10A squared plus 10A. I can't collect the A with the A squared because even though A is the same number in both of these, that's A squared and that's A, so they're not the same. So I've simplified it by collecting like terms. Now I can factorise. I can take out terms that are common to both, which are A is common to both and also 10. So I could take the 10A outside the bracket. Now, what have I got to times 10A by to get 10A squared? No. 10A to get 10A squared. A, because A times A gives me A squared. A, good. 10A times A gives me 10A squared. Do you all see that? And then here's the next one, which is often forgotten by people, or when you're doing these things, and me included, if you're not careful, it's a long expression. What have I got to times 10A by to get 10A? 1, right. You mustn't forget the 1. So that factorises to that. So that's factorised. As a check, and you got these to do in the task that you got in the assignment, yeah, as a check, expand this expression here, expand that, and you should get back to that, and then you know you've got it right. So when you do this task in the assignment, you know you've got it right because you just expand this final expression back out again. 10A times A gives me 10A squared plus 10A times 1 is 10A, and we're back to the original expression. So now have a look at some of these questions in this exercise and see how you get on, and then try the task in the assignment. Okay.